In the chaotic emergency room, a homeless man, Elias Thorne, collapsed, gasping for air. Nurse Elara Vance, seeing the life drain from his eyes, grabbed an unauthorized EpiPen. Her decisive action, driven by pure instinct, would save a life, but at what cost? Slowly, Elias's ragged breathing softened, his chest rising and falling with newfound rhythm. Elara knelt beside him, a tender smile easing the tension from her face. "You're going to be okay," she murmured, gently placing a warm blanket over his trembling form. He managed a weak, grateful whisper, a testament to her swift, humane action. From the emergency room entrance, a figure in a sharp, dark suit watched the scene unfold. Director Thorne, a man whose ledger balanced above all else, registered Elara's compassionate act. His gaze, devoid of warmth, hardened as he saw the unauthorized medication. A subtle tightening of his jaw spoke volumes of his disapproval. A silent, cold judgment. Later, as the ER quieted, a terse message flashed. "Nurse Vance, report to Director Thorne's office first thing tomorrow." Elara's heart sank. She knew the cost of compassion here. Her worried frown deepened, staring at the ominous summons. A premonition of what awaited her. The cold, sterile air of Director Thorne's office felt like a physical barrier between them. Behind a vast, polished mahogany desk, Thorne regarded Elara with an unblinking, analytical stare. "Nurse Vance," he began, his voice devoid of warmth, "your actions in Bay 3 constituted a grave breach of protocol. Unauthorized resource allocation, a direct violation of Section 4.7b of our expenditure guidelines." Elara clasped her trembling hands. "But, Director, a man was dying. I had to act. It was an ethical imperative." Thorne merely steepled his fingers, unmoved. "Ethics do not override fiscal responsibility, Nurse Vance. This hospital operates on budgets, not sentiment." Thorne picked up a document, his movements precise and unhurried. "Therefore, due to gross misconduct and the significant financial liability you exposed this institution to, your employment is terminated, effective immediately." The words hung in the air, cold and definitive, echoing in the pristine silence. Elara felt a chill deeper than the office's air conditioning. Terminated. Her world, built on dedication and service, shattered into 1,000 pieces. Her hands clenched, a silent scream trapped in her throat. Thorne's gaze remained unfeeling, already moving on to the next item on his mental agenda, as if dismissing a minor inconvenience. With a small box cradling her few personal items, Elara walked out into the hospital hallway, heads turned. Whispers followed her like a cruel echo, each syllable a fresh wound, fired. For saving a life, the uniform, once a symbol of pride, now felt like a shroud of shame. She stepped outside, the bright morning sun a harsh spotlight on her defeat. Jobless, broken, and unsure how she would piece her life back together, Elara walked away, leaving behind the only calling she had ever known, the weight of injustice pressing down on her spirit. The small, modest apartment felt colder than usual that evening. Elara sat at her chipped kitchen table, the dim light from a single flickering lamp casting long shadows across a stack of overdue bills. Each envelope, each red reminder felt like a physical weight pressing down on her. The reality of her job loss, the unjust dismissal, settled over her like a shroud. Her phone, usually buzzing with messages from colleagues, remained silent, a stark symbol of her sudden isolation. There were no job offers, no words of support, just the crushing quiet. The next morning, Elara moved through her apartment with a heavy heart, trying to appear strong, but the hopelessness pressed in, suffocating. Her gaze drifted out the window, to the bustling city below, a world that seemed to have forgotten her. She thought of Elias, the homeless patient whose life she had saved. A painful question echoed in her mind. Was it worth it? Had her compassion truly cost her everything? Later that day, on a crowded city street, a familiar face emerged from the throngs. It was Elias Thorne, still a little frail, but unmistakably recovering. He saw Elara, his eyes widening in recognition, then filling with a profound, heartfelt gratitude. He stopped, fumbled for words, simply repeating, "Thank you, nurse. You saved me." His genuine, humble appreciation was a lifeline, a quiet, powerful reminder of why she had acted, igniting a fragile spark of purpose within her. Back in her apartment that evening, a small, forgotten business card tumbled from the pocket of her discarded uniform. It was from the relative of a patient, a quiet woman who had witnessed Elara's firing. Elara picked it up, her fingers tracing the embossed letters. Lena Sharma, attorney at law. Could it truly matter? Could one nurse, stripped of her career and her security, possibly stand against a powerful hospital? Skepticism warred with a faint, unfamiliar flicker of hope. Elara stared at the business card, doubt gnawing. What good would it do? But Elias Thorne's grateful smile flickered. She thought of other healthcare workers, silenced by systems valuing profit over people. A quiet resolve hardened her gaze. This wasn't just about her. It was about what was right. With a deep breath, Elara picked up the phone. Lena Sharma's office was professional. As Elara recounted her dismissal, Lena listened intently, her gaze unwavering. When Elara finished, Lena leaned forward, voice calm but resolute. "What you did, Elara, was not a breach. It was a moral imperative. We will fight for that truth." Relief washed over Elara, a heavy weight beginning to lift. Days became a focused blur in Lena's office. Stacks of hospital policies, medical records, and legal precedents piled high. Lena meticulously highlighted clauses, explaining rules Elara had instinctively navigated. They dissected budget reports, contrasting an EpiPen's cost with a human life's value. Each piece of evidence forged a sharper weapon against the hospital's cold, financial logic. The city sprawled beneath Director Thorne's opulent executive office, a testament to his untouchable power. He leaned back, an expensive watch gleaming on his wrist, reviewing quarterly budget reports. The dismissal of Nurse Vance, a minor disruption, had long been filed away. She was an easily forgotten inconvenience, a necessary cost-cutting measure in his efficient, profit-driven world. A self-satisfied smirk played on his lips. A soft knock, then, his assistant, face stiff, placed a thick, official-looking envelope on his polished desk. Thorne tore it open, expecting another mundane contract. But, as his eyes scanned the legal notice, his confident posture faltered. His breath caught in his throat. It was from Elara Vance, the nurse he thought he had crushed, alleging wrongful termination, defamation, and abuse of power. Shock gave way to a cold, unfamiliar anger. Days later, in the sterile hospital board meeting room, Thorne attempted to dismiss the lawsuit. He spoke of protocol breaches and financial liabilities, downplaying its significance. Yet across the long, polished table, worried glances were exchanged. Public perception, one member murmured. The hospital's reputation, another added cautiously. Thorne's dismissive tone couldn't quite mask the growing unease. What began as a whisper in a lawyer's office soon turned into a roar. News of Elara's case leaked, igniting online outrage and a groundswell of support. Social media feeds scrolled with angry comments, and news snippets highlighted her story. Suddenly, Elara's face became a symbol. Other former employees and patients, emboldened by her courage, began to share their own hidden stories of the hospital's cold, profit-driven policies. The small community hall buzzed with a low murmur of anticipation, a stark contrast to the flashing cameras and clustered microphones before the podium. Elara Vance stood there, Lena Sharma a steady, reassuring presence beside her. Elara's hands, accustomed to the delicate precision of medical care, trembled slightly as she gripped the podium. But when she spoke, her voice, though nervous, carried a quiet dignity. She articulated the core ethical dilemma, not with anger, but with heartfelt clarity. The unwavering commitment to patient welfare against the cold calculus of hospital budgets. Her simple truth resonated, transforming the quiet nurse into a powerful voice for change. In his opulent executive office, Director Thorne watched Elara on a large TV screen, the city sprawling below him a distant blur. Elara's calm, resolute expression filled the monitor, her quiet strength a stark contrast to his own seething frustration. He saw the public's unwavering sympathy for her, the way her heartfelt words cut through his carefully constructed corporate narrative of efficiency and cost-saving. "This is preposterous," he muttered, a low growl escaping his throat. A public relations nightmare. His phone buzzed. An urgent call from a worried board member. His control, once absolute, was clearly unraveling. A bead of sweat trickled down his temple. Back in Lena Sharma's understated office, legal documents lay meticulously spread across the desk. Lena pointed to key sections, her voice firm as she outlined the final strategy for the upcoming trial. "Your truth, Elara," she stated. "That's our strongest weapon." Elara nodded, a flicker of fear in her eyes quickly replaced by a profound determination. "It's not just for me," Elara said, her gaze steady. "It's for every patient who deserved better, every nurse who had to choose." Lena placed a reassuring hand on Elara's arm. The image of the looming courthouse, the stage for their ultimate showdown, hung heavy in the air. The hospital's lawyers attacked, painting Elara as reckless and insubordinate. Director Thorne watched, smug, but Lena Sharma countered, framing the case not as budget, but profound moral imperative, a life saved versus a rule broken, a choice for humanity. The legal battle had truly begun. Elara took the stand. Quietly, powerfully, she spoke. She recounted the chaotic night, Elias Thorne's fading breath, her split-second decision. Her belief that every life deserved saving stood above any policy. Her truth, delivered without anger, moved all who listened, a testament to her unwavering integrity. Thorne's confident posture faltered. He'd dismissed Elara as minor. But her heartfelt words echoed, forcing him to confront the raw, human cost of his policies. His clinical detachment fractured, discomfort flickering in his eyes. His unyielding demeanor subtly shifted. He could not look away. The courtroom held its breath. The judge delivered the verdict, gavel falling sharp. The court ruled in Elara's favor. The hospital was ordered to pay damages and issue a public apology. Elara gasped, profound relief washing over her as Lena beamed. Justice had been served. Not a victim, but a victor. See the inspiring moment she reclaims her power. Elara Vance stepped onto the courthouse steps, sunlight warm on her face, a stark contrast to the sterile office where her world had shattered. Lena Sharma was by her side, a proud smile on her face. A small crowd had gathered, media cameras flashing, but among them a familiar figure stood, Elias Thorne, healthy and offering a grateful nod. Cheers erupted, a wave of vindication washing over Elara. Beyond the lawsuit, a deeper victory, the reclamation of self-worth. Later that day, in a quiet cafe, Elara sipped coffee, a profound peace settling over her. "I don't feel powerless anymore," she mused to Lena. "Dignity isn't something others can take, it's something you carry within." Lena reached across the table, her hand resting over Elara's. "You didn't just win a case, Elara. You reminded everyone what truly matters. From injustice to impact, see how one act of courage sparks a wave of change." Months turned into a new chapter. Elara found her calling at a vibrant community health clinic, a place prioritizing people over profit. Her experience fueled her passion, advocating tirelessly for ethical patient care. And there, amongst the volunteers, was Elias Thorne, his health restored, his quiet presence, a living testament to the life she had saved, a constant reminder of why she fought. One woman's fight changes an entire institution, the ripple effect of courage. The ripples of Elara's case spread far beyond the courtroom. The hospital, once unyielding, announced sweeping new patient-first policies and ethical guidelines. Director Thorne was quietly replaced, his legacy of budget cuts overshadowed by a renewed commitment to compassionate care. A new sign now hung in the hospital lobby, emphasizing, quote, "Care, not cost. Your voice matters. Your kindness can change the world." A final message of empowerment. Elara often reflected on her journey, knowing that her stand wasn't just for herself. It was for every patient, every nurse, every person who deserved to be treated with dignity. She had learned that courage could rise even in the darkest times, and that one brave act, born of compassion, could inspire widespread change. Her story became a reminder: dignity is non-negotiable, and kindness, in its quiet strength, can move mountains.